All good. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that being the project manager, you are the first person who understands or who should understand the project um, clearly. And this understanding you would develop through meetings with the sponsors, through meetings with various stakeholders. And once you already have this understanding, you are in a good position to cascade down this understanding to the team members. And this is what they need you to tell them. They need you to be very clear about what the project is for, what are the objectives, what is their role, what each one of your team member is expected to do. And it requires a lot from PM to show his interpersonal skills, his strategic vision, his holistic understanding of the business, what does the business do, and what the project is for, and how it will help the organization. So, so far we haven't uh, put down our project charter, but we are in a position to put down our charter, to write it down, because we already identified our stakeholders and we already identified our project business case. These are the things that we already know. Um, so the information that we already have uh, gathered is enough now to put down the project charter. But before we assign any responsibility, we need to have a buy-in. We need to have with the stakeholders. So leadership skills and also consensus. Now, you won't be getting the people for the project right away. You have to possibly you have to negotiate the resources from the other functional managers, uh, or maybe certain resources would be pre-assigned for the project. I mean, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to ask for the resources. Just like you are assigned for the project, you might also have other resources given to you. Uh, all because organization has the trust in you, because you have those skills, and you have those skills to lead a project team and deliver the objectives of the project. Now, this is your task now, that you need to uh, take charge of the project and onboard the resources or staff the project, like staff the project with which resources you need. Because the project charter which we are going to write, it gives you all the authority to utilize the organizational resources. Now, what does the PM need? He needs the project kickoff meeting to share his understanding of the project with all the stakeholders. And with that with that meeting, uh, he can also take the buy-in from the functional managers for the resources that they might have committed with him already. So the proper kickoff will also give him the chance, or her the chance, to present the project charter, the draft version of the project charter, and and also it will demonstrate the authority that, guys, moving forward, today we have our project charter, we have our project manager, and we have a project, and all of you are here because organization has put its trust on you, and they have picked you to deliver the benefits that we are going to talk about. Now, it all starts, I mean, project charter, it starts with the project's vision statement. which is a broad statement that what we are going to do with this project. Maybe we are going to introduce a new service or creating a new product or or any other result which organization is seeking, such as they want to improve the productivity, efficiency, they want to serve their customers uh, faster, or anything, or they are bringing a new system for regulatory compliance whatsoever. But at least we should have a project vision statement that this project is being done to fulfill a regulatory requirement, or this project is done to create a new product or service for the anticipated benefit that we have. Simple statement. And just like what is included in the project is important, what is not included in the project is also important. So we need to draw the boundaries. We need to draw, we need to define our scope of the project. We may be uh, dreaming of a lot of features in a product, but all might not be possible in the current constraints that we have of time, cost, and the resources. So what we can do is we can write down the features that are inside the scope of the project, and we can write down the features which are outside the scope of the project. We will tell definitely these are interesting features. We will work on these features in subsequent phases of the project, maybe, or we will create another project to deliver these services. But I mean these features. But within the scope of the project is are the following features. Now, any questions so far? I see some.
Your voice is echoing and it's not that clear. It's
It's
like
not actually
might be some speaker is on
kind
or
of quiet
something.
place. Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, are you saying something? I couldn't hear.
No, I didn't say anything. I'm just finding a quiet place. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Is it somewhat better? Hello?
I can hear you clearly, John.
Okay. Maybe I can try connecting my Bluetooth headset. It will be better for Fatima as well. Let us try. Sorry, we have to live without my headset. I think I this is maximum I can do with the voice.
Now it's clear.
If you guys are fine, I can continue. Yeah,
Yeah, it's clear now. Yeah, it's better.
all right.
Thank you.
Uh, you're welcome. All right. So, so the whole idea till now, what we discussed is that what are the number of ways how we can develop understanding of the product that we brainstorm as a team, and this requires some engagement of the project manager and collaboration with the all the team members stakeholders. Had it be a had it be a traditional project management or waterfall, then we would have called for a project kickoff meeting or brainstorming session for the with the stakeholders. Now, if it is agile environment, then we would say we will call for product discovery session, and there are a number of ways that we can bring up creative ideas about the product we are going to introduce. Like what is the product like? What should be the topmost features in the product? So we have various techniques to do so in Agile, um, and we can try one of the technique which is called design the product box. Okay, that's one of the cool technique in which we can gather as a team, and each team is given a box, and then they are told that feel free to write on top of the box, on your box, the top 3 or 4 features which you think the as which you think that will be wow features for the customers or must have features for the customers, and keep any other feature that you may think is not that important. You can still list it down, but list it down behind the box, like at the back side of the box, and then each team presents like their boxes after 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes of exercise. This is just an idea. This is just an idea that now the boxes will be discussed. The top 3 features from each of the box will be taken, and without any judgment, these will be considered for the debate and the discussion. Now, uh, uh, so we may reach to the better understanding, the better shared understanding by doing so. Now, this was one of the way. Other ways we can continue to use the conventional methods, like we can create the surveys, we can visit people in one-to-one meeting sessions, we can try any collaboration tools to do so. Now, uh, now when we are gathering people as a PM, I should be very much aware, or I should have done the document analysis, the review of the documents for the project. Like if there is anything written already and documented, I should have gone through it, such as memorandum of understanding, the request for proposal, or any proposal that is received as part of the RFP process, any contracts that have already been made, any SLAs, any service level agreements that we have already done with the partners or suppliers. Especially if we have subcontracted scope of the project or full project to some other partner, then we must have written a statement of work. Statement of work is written only when we have a outsourcing engagement, like we want someone else to do the job. We lack the capability in-house to do certain work for the project, or maybe to develop a system, we are unable to develop a system ourselves. So we will write the statement of work and then somebody else will do it for us. But when we write the statement of work, we should be very particular about the product features that we want in our product. And these are the documents which gives you product understanding. Like so far, maybe as a PM, I already have enough knowledge that who is needed to be engaged in this project. But uh, I need to dig deep to understand more about the service we are going to create. What are the features of this service? I need to understand the product more, that what product we need to introduce into the market, what it is, how it will serve the customers, in which manner, what functionalities it will provide. Definitely, I will not be understanding or having thorough understanding like a product manager. Definitely, I will not know much about the product just like a product manager, but I should have high level overview of the product at least. Yeah. Okay. So the suggestions, as I said, that suggestions are that you should consult the business case, the very first thing. And also you should consider that why we started at the first place. Like you ask yourself this question couple of times, that why this project is needed, why we started, so that you should be very clear that there is the justification for it, there is the business need for it, there is the market need, customer need for it, and that's why we are doing it. Now it's beginning. It's the time that we set up our success criteria. How does success looks like? When we will start a new service, how we would classify or qualify it that, yeah, we introduce an excellent service. This is what we wanted to achieve. So if we can put it in writing, how does done looks like? How does a successful completion or launch looks like? And if we can mention certain aspects of it, it would be it would be required, because if we will define the success, then only can we achieve the success. So how it can be done in traditional projects is that in traditional projects we write the acceptance criteria, or we write a checklist, a complete checklist which tells us that ensure such and such functionalities are working in the user acceptance testing. And if all the checklist is satisfied, we say, yeah, now it's validated, it's verified that this service is of the same quality level that we defined. It means that this is the definition stage. So I need to come up with that checklist, which would be the acceptance criteria for future service once it will be launched. So now is the time that I brainstorm with the stakeholders, and we as a team come up with the definition of success. Now, if it is an agile environment, the essence is same. But what we need to do, we have a terminology which is called definition of done. Now, definition of done means that any user story, any functionality which we are defining, we should also define acceptance criteria that is validated by a developer. While he will develop that service, he will validate that acceptance criteria himself first. And if he considers, if he validates that, yes, I am meeting this acceptance criteria, all the business rules are validated, such and such checks which are told are working, he would pass it on for your review. So this definition of done is for is written by the business user, the product owner, product manager, or business analyst. It is written with each user story, with each functionality, so that a developer can ensure that whatever code he has written, it is passing all these validations, all these business rules, and before he is coming to present it, he ensures that everything is working, QA passed, and then this functionality is presented to business user. So essence is same. Either it is acceptance criteria written for example, uh, or definition of success written for a conventional project, or it is a definition of done written for example for the agile project. Both need to be validated so that we can consider that a user story is done and it is good to be launched. Sorry, guys, do you have any question? Nothing?
It's okay so far.
Okay. So uh, a while ago I mentioned design the product box technique. So design the product box technique was to just together as a team and then define the product that we are going to introduce into the market jointly, so that we have shared understanding of what we are going to introduce in the market as a product. And as a team, we know we all have same understanding of the product. Sorry, sorry. Thank you so much. Okay. So, so this is one of the example which I gave, but it is applicable primarily in the agile environments. And yeah, but since we also have a hybrid life cycle, if you recall that if we are new to the agile and we have been following, let's say, predictive method earlier, so we may want to continue certain practices which were working in predictive development life cycle. So so hybrid is a mixture of agile and predictive approaches. So one other technique which is used, which might we used more in conventional projects was using similes, examples, like the metaphors which can describe the which can describe two things by visually or comparing two things. So I'm not getting any example as of now in my mind, but similes and metaphors really help to reinforce the understanding. Gigi, I need your help to just give me an metaphor. Any simile or metaphor?
I'll get back to you in a while. Just let me compose my thoughts.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think we will wait. Mind, which is that it's raining cats and dogs. So when we say it's raining cats and dogs, it tells us that like it's too much raining, right? So these are the metaphors that really help, and these really simplify the things, the complex ideas in very simple way. Yeah. All right. So once we have our understanding of the project objectives through going through the business case together, going through the product definition exercises together, now we are in a position to put up the things like to formalize or to draft our charter. Now the project charter, in essence, it's the important document which authorizes the project manager to utilize organizational resources to achieve project objectives. So it's the kind of a license for the project manager, and that gives him authority to use organizational resources, budget, um, and all the other support departments to carry out the work of the project, to authorize the work of the project. So if someone asks you, who are you? You can say, I am the project manager. And who authorized you as a PM? The sponsor X and Y authorized me as a PM, and that's the proof. This is the charter which is signed by the project sponsor, and I have also signed it. So I have very much right to utilize organizational resources and to steer the project towards success. So that's the confidence that the charter, having a charter, it gives you a confidence and the authority to to move forward, to kick off the project, to take the project further. Okay. Now, what's included, as I said, my name, our sponsor name, our project description, project vision statement, any um, the business need, the justification of the project, as well as how much time we have for this project, the constraints, and how much budget we have for this project, and the key moments in the project that we are, let's say we define the project in few phases. We may have a phase schedule, or we may define some milestones that we would be all working towards achieving this project, and we can say, okay, some time, some point down in time, we will be achieving, the design will be ready, the approvals will be ready to construct the building, and we will be completing a construction of the building. The house will be built, and the day we will move into the house. So all these are key moments in time which can be considered as milestones. So we can have a milestone schedule or a phase schedule in the charter as well, that after 6 months or 2 months, we will be finishing the requirement phase or the design phase, or we will be completing the construction of the house, or we will be moving into the house. So all these milestones or key moments in time we should be writing in our charter. And charter is the place where you write your initial assumptions. Whatever your assumptions are, write them down, write those down, and write down the risks that you anticipate. Write down those risks because it's important. High level, even high level, but write down those risks because it will really help you to derive your comprehensive plan, the project management plan from this document, which is called project charter. So whatever we are writing here will be actually utilized when we will be devising our project management plan. One template is given here. How does a project charter looks like? And as I said, it has the name of the project manager, the sponsor, the project business case, the vision statement, the summary milestones, what's in, what's out. Remember, I said that we need to define the boundaries. What is within the scope of the project, what is outside the scope of the project. And the milestone schedule is given that um, such and such point in time, we will be having our design completed, our build completed, or our and we can see also that we also decided the approach of the project. Like this project is a multi-phase project, and it will be completed in three phases: phase one, phase two, phase three. So This gives a structure to our project that what's coming next. So it's an excellent document that we indeed need to put it because it will help us to uh, plan the project as well in further detail. Now we are ready to present this project charter in the kickoff meeting. And this is where project manager will stand out that he has done a lot of work. He has done a lot of work while reviewing business case, while reviewing any contracts, SOWs, meeting with the sponsors, stakeholders. Prior to coming to the kickoff meeting, he has all credentials, all credentials. He has the buy-in from the sponsor, at least that now is the time we will kick off because we are he is the project manager or she is a project manager and he or she has done a lot of work, gathered a lot of detail to put down the charter. Now kickoff meeting is invited with those stakeholders which we identified, and now is the time to engage with them. It will include all those people in-house which which can attend the meeting, or anyone who is remotely available. We will invite them as well. Not all stakeholders would be able to attend the kickoff because certain projects have a lot many stakeholders, but definitely with the kickoff you need key stakeholders to attend the meeting. And this is the announcement that a project is created in the organization, a project manager is assigned, and such and such departments are engaged in this project. We need the support from all of you. To make it happen. That's it. Exam topics that we covered so far, behavior of the project mission of the project. And then he has to develop the shared understanding. Then he has to develop the shared understanding of the product, service, of the result we are going to make. And there are a number of ways to build that shared understanding. We discussed about using product box technique. We discussed about using any metaphors, similes to describe how does the product looks like, and so that we have clear understanding. Each one of us have same understanding of the end goal. And earlier we discussed about ground rules, and we discussed about team charter and the team roles and responsibilities as well. So these are the areas from where your exam questions will be built around. Any questions so far, guys?
Yes, I want to know, is there any difference in agile or predictive to for the kickoff meeting? When they have the kickoff meeting, is there any difference in agile and predictive?
See, the kickoff meeting happens only in the predictive, or you can say hybrid projects.
Okay.
With the once you have your project kicked off as a predictive project, let's say in the most of the organizations are hybrid actually. Okay, so you will
Hmm.
kick off the project in a hybrid. I mean hybrid in a you will kick off the project, and then when it will come to the definition of the product, once you will be having some requirements ready for the product, you will kick off the sprint planning. And then you will have your sprint started within a hybrid project which was kicked off, as with a kickoff meeting. But later
But
on, you put up your requirements and you started using user story definition for the requirements. You didn't write the BRD. You decided to write user stories. And with these user stories, then you did the sprint planning. Like, okay, in the first sprint, we will be taking such and such user story because these are priority stories. So A hybrid project is kicked off with a kickoff meeting. A predictive project is kicked off with a kickoff meeting. An agile project is kicked off with a sprint planning session.
Um, okay, can you give an example of that? And I want another question was that do you have any document that's represent business case? Because what I'm seeing a project charter and a business case, these two I'm confused as how much detail in the business case is there and how much detail is in the project charter.
Well, the charter just have the justification for the project at high level. The business
Mhm.
case is having some calculations around the justification. It is bit more detailed. If you remember, if you were there with us in the early lectures, we discussed about business case and business value, and we discussed various formulas like payback period, internal rate of return. Just go back to our lecture one or two in the videos, you will find a detailed explanation on the aspects of business case. That when project is authorized, it is the business analyst job to come up with the business case, and it is to justify mathematically that if this project requires 1 million, then what is the payback period of this 1 million? So if it requires 1 million, then why we are not investing on any other project which also requires 1 million? What are the anticipated benefits in this project, and what are the anticipated benefits in this project, and what is the opportunity cost? So we discussed these things in our previous lectures. If there is any doubt, you may
Okay,
ask again.
thank
Okay,
you. I'll see that.
George, you are asking some question. Okay, sorry, I lost you. All right. Okay, so now with the project approach, I mean, are we going to have this project delivered in one phase or multiple phases? Are we going to use the agile approach or predictive approach? What kind of methodology we are going to use in this project? So far, we understand the project scope because we have written the project. We have gone through the project definition, the product definition, the features, the high level description, what's in scope, what's outside the scope. So we can actually, we are in a better position to say from the scope that we just understood, looks like this project is purely predictive. Or from the scope that we just understood, looks like this project is going to be a hybrid because it does involve some aspects which are complex and some aspects which are straightforward. Or it looks like this project is purely complex project and we don't know what we don't know. And this will be known once we will move forward with the project. So we say, let's begin in an agile approach. So far, we we are open to utilize any technique that we may may think of. So we call it tailor the technique, tailor your approaches, tailor your development approaches, looking at how does your project work look like. Like look at the product you are making, look at the way you would be delivering value. Like you think that value can be delivered as a single product. All right, then you use your iterative approach or you use your predictive approach. But if you think that value can be delivered incrementally, then you use either incremental approach or agile approach, which could be incremental and iterative at the same time. Yeah. And we talked about this slide earlier as well, that we do have plan driven projects and we have chain driven projects. So chain driven projects are kind of iterative or incremental or agile. But the projects which are plan driven, these are predictive, or we can consider a multi-phase project as well, which is also planned in phases. However, there is still single delivery or it's planned in detail, just like a predictive project. Yeah. But what based on what we decide that it is going to be plan driven or chain driven, it is based on how clear we are about the scope of the project. If we are certain, if we are certain from very beginning, what does the end goal looks like, and we are clearly able to articulate it, go ahead with the predictive approach. If it is unclear, if it is complex, if it is not known, the scope is not known, then you can use either iterative, incremental, or agile. Now, um, if you talk about change and managing change in predictive projects, change is possible, but it will be done in a controlled manner. There will be a change request which need to be created. Impact has to be analyzed on the boundaries of the project, on the scope, cost, schedule, risk, everything. And then it will be either approved or rejected. But in the agile, since we have committed a very few things for a sprint, we are open to change for the rest of the scope, which is not part of the current sprint. And the sprint duration is set very, very short so that we don't mind changing anything apart from what is committed in the particular sprint. Maybe it's just a feature or part of a feature. And we discussed these things earlier as well. Now, so far, as I mentioned, we have a project aspect and we have a product aspect, right? So as a project, we can say that we are working on various projects to deliver a single product or evolve a single product, because the product life cycle goes beyond the project life cycle. Because once you introduce a product in the market, you may have closed that project which delivered this product service or the to the market. But the product life cycle goes beyond because it continues until the product is taken from the market or it is discontinued. So far, if you are enhancing the product, it will stay in the market. So how we continue to enhance a product when the project is not there? This is interesting scenario. We do it, we evolve the products because we run various sprints and we do various iterations. And these are the agile projects where we iterate on the existing features and improve those features, or we develop new features and increment those features in our existing product. So we do various sprints, which are actually small projects to evolve our product. So one project to deliver the product and various small projects to continue to enhance the existing product. Got the idea? Any question, guys? I think it's enough for today. If you guys agree with me, I would like to
Shyam, I'm ready now.
Yeah. Please, I want to hear from you
Okay,
how
so
we can use
you,
this.
you wanted me to give you an example of this stimuli and metaphor.
Yes, please.
Okay, so for the stimuli, we use things to describe other things, but we use words like such as like, us, or done. So something like as busy as a bee,
Uh-huh.
as cold as ice,
Oh, yes.
as smooth as silk. And
Mm,
for metaphors, we are relating two things that are not actually related just to give a sort of a similarity or as a visual
mhm,
description of something. So let's say you're describing a project manager. So use a sports coach is someone who ensures that there is a smooth and teamwork among
mhm.
players, that they're doing exactly what is their strength and complementing each other's
Uh-huh.
challenges.
Uh-huh. Mhm,
So similar to a sports coach, a project
mhm,
manager is not really involved in the actual work, but
mhm,
he ensures that all the team players are doing their roles so that they contribute for the successful implementation of the project until it's
mhm.
completed and it's closed.
Got it.
So that's how I thought
Yeah.
Sibilla and metaphor can be described.
It's very clear now, for me at least. Others can comment. Are you clear, Fatima and George, about using metaphor?
Yes, like Scrum as a gardener,
True, true. That's a good
Scrum
example.
Master as a gardener, and there are many other metaphor and similes for in the field of project management. Lots of like many other things are there. It's not
Well,
coming in my mind, but
well,
there
I
are so
would,
many
I would,
things.
I would comment here that this is good metaphor to understand the life of a project manager, right? But here once we want to build understanding of a product, then we can have many personas, and many personas will help us to understand, okay, who will be the user of this product? A kid. And then we put ourselves in the shoe of a kid. Okay, as a kid, I want this. So this will give us the, take us to that frame of mind to think like a kid and ask the product to give you this and this and this and that. Right.
Mhm.
So this is the it relates to the imagination that we create a persona in our discussion, that okay, this is a working woman, and now anticipate how hard the life is and how we can simplify it with this and this and this product, right? So this is important that we create we use a metaphor, we use simile, we use some persona, and then it will be easier for everybody to connect in, right? Visuals and stories will be easier for everybody to connect in. Thanks for joining in today. I was also traveling for Eid. So if you would have heard many announcements for the flight. So I was in my airport launch in today's class, and we will have a tomorrow class as well. See you guys tomorrow then.
Thank you so much, Sham. I really appreciate that you have taken the effort despite your circumstances